Hello, ladies and gentlemen, miners and artisans, citizens of the digital world. My name is Masimba Charles Vuma, also known as the Mining Superstar, and I would like to welcome you to the second episode of Mukute Boys. Now, before we start, I would like to thank everyone who tuned into our first episode, and I hope you enjoy our latest installment. Now, without further ado, I would like to welcome my guest today, mining engineer Kudakwashe Mateko. Pleasure to have you on our podcast, Kudakwashe.
I would like to thank Engineer Masimba for bringing up this good initiative, incorporating me into the podcast as we share the little that we know. I look forward to hearing from other gurus in the industry what they have to say and what they have experienced, the challenges and the solutions that they have to the current problems or emerging problems that we have in the mining industry.
Right. Today we will be talking about mining engineering in the eyes of young graduate engineers, particularly in Zimbabwe. What are some of the expectations that young mining engineers have, and why would employers and the industry as a whole benefit from young mining engineers?
As we leave school, the expectations of us, what we're expected to do, what we're expected to know, and how we are going to be completing what that is expected for of us. So as engineers and as mining engineers, we are expected to be problem solvers, to improve efficiency and productivity at mine sites. And how do we accomplish this? We can accomplish this with the use of the technical knowledge that we grasp in our tenure at tertiary education, what the lecturers have told us. This includes different or various disciplines in mine planning, in mining law, in mineral beneficiation, which is really key. So it's an advantage to the person employing a mining engineer, how they incorporate the new technology that is emerging in the industry, the technical knowledge that they have acquired from university and from tertiary institutes, inputting it into the problems, the real life problems that are being faced at a mine. So, for example, mining is a business. At the end of the day, it holds as a business. And as a business should break even and should have profits. It needs to have a revenue. So that is when, as a mining engineer, you then come in taking into consideration the volatility of the mining prices that are experienced in the mining industry. This will determine the scale of production and the development that you will be undertaking at a mine.
The burden on mining engineers weigh heavy on our shoulders at times. Our broad knowledge and skills equip us with the weapons to tackle some really tricky situations. If I may ask, what are different ways that mining engineers can affect mining enterprises?
For example, a practical example is how Simplants experienced when the platinum group of minerals prices fell. There was the optimization of the mining method that they used, the room and pillar method, the well-known room and pillar method. How they optimized it so that in such a way to cut costs. This directly improves the revenue. If you lessen your costs, you improve on the revenue side. So as an engineer, how do you come in then to implement such methods from the mineral economics of business or of the mining production? You then consider sensitivity analysis. This way, by as a mine planner, you check the variables, how you can manipulate or how you maneuver through the variables, the different variables at a mine, which include, for example, the machinery that you're using. Are you going to cut down? Are you going to acquire new machinery given the new prices that are in place, that are in action? How are you going to consider the power and the labor that you're currently using? How all this will affect the feasibility and the viability of a project. Because the bottom line of the mining project, it is to realize profits, how you can increase the net present value, and how you can also increase the internal rate of return of the money injected into the project.
I personally feel like the input of a mining engineer greatly increases a mine's chance of success. But sometimes tackling real life problems can be difficult, especially when facing new problems, which young engineers often do. What are some of the ways that young mining engineers can elevate themselves from being correct theoretically to making practical technical solutions?
Being employed as a mining engineer at any mine, be it small scale, medium scale, or large scale, as I have realized through my career, is the mining engineering, it cannot be done theoretically. You cannot start and end a project while you're seated in the office through a desktop study. You cannot do that. You have to be hands-on, and through being hands-on, you are exposed to different situations, to different problems that are faced by people or by other colleagues in the mine. That way, you then couple what you have learned, what you have experienced, in order to come up with a feasible solution. Because most recent graduates, they are full of technical knowledge. They have the theoretical solutions to theoretical problems.
Okay, so do you have any other pieces of advice that you would like to give to young engineers?
From what I experienced personally in the career that I chose, is the aspect of emotional intelligence. How you are going to work through or work past people frustrating you, because frustration is going to be there. There are a lot of demands that are going to be asked for you from you. Some which are feasible, and some that are out of this world. Some that can be met and some that cannot be met. How you are going to maneuver through people who are fighting against you and people who are going to be working with you.
So, if I may ask, what are some of the things that prevent young mining engineers from contributing positively to the mining industry? And what steps can they take to navigate these challenges?
For starters, unemployment. You are fresh out of college. You have the zeal, you have the energy, you really want to work, but where to work? Because as mining engineers, you cannot really work from home. There isn't any mining or any engineering that you can do from your household. So that is the first challenge that I would like to share, and just to bring a little light to, of unemployment. Uh, it doesn't necessarily mean not finding a job, but something that you're interested in. You might be interested in production, or maybe for say mine planning, but where are the mines that are appreciating mine planners? You might get a job to someone who is production based, who doesn't really appreciate or see the need of a mine planner at a mine, or a person who doesn't really see the need of someone who improves the the mineral processing side of mining. So there might be opportunities, but not aligned with what you see or how you envision yourself in the future. There is also the challenge of gatekeepers in the mining industry. People who are full of knowledge and they do not want to share. People who see opportunities that, as a young engineer, as a recent graduate, might take advantage of, but they do not have the thought of helping you or assisting you to be better, to progress in your career. You might be sharing with the wrong person. You might have an idea or a vision of being a managing director of a well established mining company in Zimbabwe or outside the country, southern region, maybe. Those people might know how to do it, but they do not have the thought of helping you or assisting you to be better, to progress in your career. You might be sharing with the wrong person. You might have an idea or a vision of being a managing director of a well established mining company in Zimbabwe or outside the country, southern region maybe. what the steps that you are required to take for you to reach there, but they are not willing to share. So the issue of gatekeepers is something that is being faced with mining engineers in the mining industry. There is also the aspect of territorial employees. By territorial employees, I mean there's that guy who has been employed by a company for 15, 20 years. He has been on that very position for 10 years. You wonder what's really keeping him from progressing or being promoted to the other post. So these people, they are full of jealousy. They do not want to help. When you approach them seeking assistance, they do not really have the zeal to be in a position to assist you as a mining engineer, which is also another challenge that we were facing. Just to mention a few challenges that are being faced by mining engineers include also career guidance. You come to realize, besides production and besides being a mine manager, what other opportunities or what other career paths can recent mining graduates from tertiary education take advantage of. So you realize that there's a knowledge gap on how or what recent mining engineers can really do, or what options are there that they may take advantage of. So this is where the part where the gurus in the industry come into play. They have to guide the recent mining engineers. Besides production, besides blasting, besides being a manager, what other aspects or what other career paths can you want to take? So it's something which is practical and which is being faced by recent graduates in our era. It might not be necessarily the recent graduates, but also the people who are trying to find themselves. You might have 3 or 4 years experience in a line of industry, in a discipline that you are focusing on, but is it the right one for you? Given the introduction of artificial intelligence, given the introduction of the fourth revolution, in the fourth industrial revolution, is it really viable for you to be sticking with that discipline? So that gap can only be filled by someone who is experienced the industry and who is able to project how the industry is going. Which comes to career advice. We really need career advice as mining engineers on how we are progressing, the new minerals that are coming into play, and how we should remain relevant, or how we are pivotal in the coming years, given how technology is moving, and how we would like to see yourself in a few years. So something that as mining engineers or as anyone taking any career path should look at is assessing your strengths as you finish your degree, as you finish your diploma, as you finish your course. Where are you most powerful at? The strength. Are you good at planning? Are you good with mineral processing? Are you good with mining law? Are you good with mineral economics? That way you find it easier to maneuver in the mining industry. How you can utilize opportunities, how you can easily outweigh the competition that is before you. So it's something that we really need to look at, and we need to bring in more people, more knowledgeable people on how best we can tackle one of these challenges.
The initial stages of an engineer's life are often viewed as the most important and impactful ones in their career. And so often you see young engineers disregard their professions because they have failed to get a traineeship or junior post in their desired field of expertise. Personally, I would like to think that young professionals of any trade should invest their time into building relationships within their industry when things don't work out the way that they think. Working entry-level jobs or unskilled jobs like general hands or volunteering is a surefire way for engineers to beat unemployment and stagnation. but you'll never know who you're going to meet or what skills you may adapt during these stages. So do not be discouraged and stay resilient in the face of adversity. And on that bombshell, I would like to thank Kuda for those scintillating anecdotes, and thanks for the viewers for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video and leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with our latest content. This is your mining superstar signing off. See you next time.